right. So we're doing something new this week to make sure you guys get experience. Um, so something new that we're going to be doing is I want everybody to write at least one goal for their character. Uh, it try to make it a goal that's obtainable. Like, don't make any like save the
Hello?
universe
Hello?
goals. Hello.
Fuck.
We can hear you.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear you.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
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 Been able to hear you.
I think she can't hear us.
She can't. All right.
Hello?
Hello. Can you
Yeah,
hear
we
us?
can hear you.
Damn it. I can see that you're talking, but I can't hear you.
Okay. So, as I was saying, I want everybody to write like at least one goal. You can write up to 3 goals. They can be personal goals. They can be plot goals. They can be interpersonal goals. But like, it's in your best interest to make it something that you can get done. Because if you resolve that goal by the end of a session, you'll get experience for it. We'll also be asking the questions, did we complete a mission or contract? Did we learn something new and important about the universe? Did we make a new enemy or thwart an existing enemy? Or was there a big moment that hinged on a crucial role? And for every one of those that we answer yes, everybody gets experience. You'll also get experience for every goal that you resolve. Hey, can you hear us?
Yeah, I just can't adjust the volume, so it's very loud.
You can adjust the volume on each person individually on Discord.
Mm-hmm. I'm with that.
Do you want us to write these on our sheets?
Yeah, I would. Write them somewhere.
I'm putting mine in history and notes.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what we'll do at the end of the session is we'll go over everybody's goals. We'll decide whether or not it's Silk. I'll repeat this for you.
Okay.
We're writing a maximum of 3 goals. They could be a personal goal. They can be like a plot goal, or like a mission type goal, or an interpersonal goal. You just want 3 of them. Make it something that's obtainable. Like if you say something like, save the universe save Earth from the aliens, you're not going to get experience for that goal.
Right, that's a little broad.
Wait, are we doing 1 or are we doing 3?
You can do up to 3.
Up to 3, okay.
Okay.
So yeah, everybody write at least 1 goal. And then at the end of the session, we'll go over it. I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to do that.
Okay.
But we are going to do away with highlighting abilities.
Okay.
It hasn't really been helping anybody. We'll still keep the if you fail a roll, you still get experience.
Okay.
I'm actually going to use the bathroom real quick, so.
Minnie, check your PMs when you get a chance.
He's in the
Yeah.
bathroom.
I have my headset on in the bathroom.
Oh. I can. Well, I guess I could take it outside of my room because I have to use my phone.
So off topic since I established my goals. Minnie, did you know Pablo's sniffing around Dead Legends now?
Yeah, he talked to me about it all night the other night.
Yeah, no, he was chatting my ear off about a build.
He was
Oh,
asking me about money and how to make money, and I'm just like, dude, I just sell drugs to the community.
I'm so excited to use my teacup holster at the next in-person event whenever that happens.
Don't let me forget to actually finish your gun.
Oh,
before the
my
next event,
pistol for
'cause
Christmas
that was
from
Christmas
last
from
year.
last year that I never finished.
Well, it was because it was always too humid to do the sealing thing, right?
Well, it was either too cold or too humid when I actually remembered it, and then like all summer and all fall, I just kept forgetting.
I will remind you.
All right, has everybody written down their goals? Anybody
I'm,
still
I'm
writing?
almost finished.
I'm still trying to. My mind blanked.
I was going for a third, but I can't think of it, so we're just going with that.
If you can't think
I'm-
of a bunch, then that's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, you don't have to write them down in the chat. I'm not gonna remember to look at them.
Well, where do you want us to put them?
We already
I
talked
put mine on
about
my
that.
sheet.
Put it on your sheet somewhere.
Okay.
You can either put it in your bio and info, or you have other tabs on your
Right. Okay.
history and notes. Nobody should be able to see anybody else's history and notes, I don't think.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you can.
Shouldn't be able to see the
You
history
can see
and
bio and info.
About info, yeah.
yeah, bio and info. That's why you put it in
History and notes is like on the it's at the bottom of your character sheet. Like your main sheet.
Ah,
yeah.
It's
But
like a little teeny tiny
nobody
skillet.
should be able to see that.
No, we can't see each other's.
Okay.
So if you
Gotta
like,
picture
if you
everybody's.
want to write any secret ones, you can put them there. If you want it to be public, you can put it on your bio and info.
Character goals, punch stack.
Is that what Jonathan says?
No.
I mean that's legit.
Pretty
All right.
easy
So
to
while you guys are writing, does anybody have anything that they roll at the beginning of the session?
Yeah,
That they'd like to
I've got
roll?
premonitions.
Okay. Are you still writing, Ray, or are you good?
I'm good. I've
Okay.
been all right.
Go ahead
I've
and
been
roll
done. It's a weird roll. Oh, motherfucker, I moved away from. What did I roll?
A 6.
Oh, no.
Oh no! That's not good at
Well, you get
all.
experience.
Yeah.
On a miss, you get a vision of something bad to happen, and the keeper holds 3. This is be spent 1 for 1 as penalties to rolls you make.
Oh no! That's really bad.
So you still get to see something bad that happens, but I get to take away. I get to hurt some of your rolls. So, let me think what the premonition will be. So I think Where did we end off last time? We ended
We were,
off at the retreat, right?
yeah.
hmm
Okay. Everybody was sitting down and getting serious about the alien invasion.
Yep.
So I think Dr. Spectro, you like suddenly have these visions come over you. They're pretty jumbled. It's hard to get your bearings. But you see a large metal creature fighting with one of the large alien crawlers
Okay.
that the first thing that you ran into. And then you see the metal creature, like its eyes glow, but then the eyes start to flutter and dim, and then the crawler is able to destroy it. But you see in like the background of this vision that there's a bunch of crawlers that are dismantled. So it looks like this metal creature did a lot of damage.
Okay.
And then you like snap back to it. How's everybody on their goals? You have at least one goal written?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. All right, then we will begin. Ray's the only person who remembered to send me what you guys wanted for this session.
Oh, wait, were we supposed to send that somewhere separately? Because we sent it in chat.
Did you?
Yeah, we put it in the Discord chat.
I
It's just
think there
been-
was a couple. I think there was a couple memes that happened.
Yeah.
That could be. Memes could have
Because
distracted.
yeah, if you go back up to 1227, Silk asks that her agency send someone who can keep this from being buried by the government actors. Falden or Alex wants Dr. Vice, security lead of the base, and they're on this up as far up the chain of command as possible. Silk also added a ritual for the debriefing and information from Rosie's scrying.
I mean, that was pretty much going to happen, but
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then you read
So,
mine.
so I think you need to roll for the agency. You have a thing for that anyway. So
yeah, but I put it on the wish list so that you could have the chance to put something into it. But yeah, so definitely intended to be rolling the thing today.
yeah. So why don't you go ahead and do that now?
Okay.
My
Okay.
dog is mad.
You're mad?
Fuck.
My dog is mad.
Which one?
Lola, she's just mad. That's okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna use a point of luck and have a 12.
Hold on a second. What happens when you use luck?
My next mission from the agency comes with lots of red tape.
Okay.
Okay, so on a 10 plus, you're good, and the request for gear or personnel is okay, or your slip up goes unnoticed. So my request for pushing this up the chain of command and perhaps having a representative here, or whatever works. But the idea is that the agency will take an active part in making sure that this doesn't get lost in the usual government shuffles.
Okay. All right.
I didn't really know what to write for that. Because Rosie's really not debriefing to anyone. She's just doing her own thing.
You have to make the roll though. If you're scrying on them.
Oh, yeah. But I don't have to make that now.
No, you do it when you make the roll.
Okay.
All right, so when am I gonna go into Mr. Silas's mind? When's that gonna happen?
Mr. Salas,
Silas, yeah.
Victor. That can happen whenever.
Okay.
Well, we wanted to do a quick like an actual like debrief with the guy as much as we can before we did that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
All right, is he still in the trunk of your car?
No,
Oh, God, I
I
forgot
think
that's
we-
where we put
I
him.
think we moved
No,
him
no.
into like a laundry room or something.
Yeah, we have like little rooms. Like we put him in a. I'm not gonna call it like a debriefing room or anything, but it's like a little room with a table.
For private business.
For private business, yes.
Okay, so that's what we'll do. All right, you got him. He's under. He's still got the sack over his head, unless we removed it before bringing him in here.
Nope.
I will pull it off.
So who all's in the room?
I
Who
think
isn't
everybody.
in the
Unless,
Who isn't in the room?
I feel like Rosie is not in the room. Like, she would come in the room if they needed her, but she doesn't really... This isn't her, like, shtick.
I think
She's
the question is do we wait for Dr. Weiss, or do we just go ahead without him?
I don't think we actually I don't think we got to the point where we contacted Dr. Weiss.
No, I'm
Have
pretty
we?
sure you did.
Oh, did I?
Yeah,
Okay. Is he on his way?
I don't
You
remember.
don't need to contact him. He knew this was going down tonight.
Right.
He'll
Yeah.
come looking for you if you don't find him first, just like last time.
Well, I think I would contact him this time and at least tell him, we're here. This is what's like we're here. Things have gotten complicated. Come here and we'll fill you in. I wouldn't want to say everything on the phone.
It says, "Good work, Dr. Watney. I'll be there in a shake of a lamb's tail."
Interesting. I've never heard Dr. Weiss use an idiom before. That's interesting.
Maybe he's just feeling fun and flirty today.
Thank you, Dr. Weiss. We'll see you. We'll see you shortly. Yeah. So Dr. Watney is definitely going to be in the room, and he would say I think. I think before whoever goes into the room, he would say something like, "So we will wait for Dr. Weiss before we go too deep into the debrief. I think right now we just need to establish some kind of rapport with what was this guy's name again?
I'm not sure anybody here actually even knows.
No, we don't.
Oh, well, maybe that's the first thing we do. Betty is Silk's character, right?
Yes.
Betty, would you mind getting some water and maybe a bite to eat for him?
Sure. I'll see what we can. Oh, see what we have on hand.
Thank you. So let's see. You said Rosie was probably not going to be in the room. Was anyone else not going to be in the room?
It sounds like that's it. Nobody else said they weren't going to be there. So.
Honestly, Stack's probably not going to be there either. That's not really his thing either.
Okay.
He's got Betty's word that they're not going to do anything untold.
Okay.
And plus, he doesn't want Rosie running around loose by herself.
So, Betty, do you send somebody to get this guy food and water, or do you go get it yourself?
No, I'm gonna go get it myself.
Okay, so there's a brief period of time where Jonathan, Spectro, and Watney are alone with this guy.
Hmm.
Okay, that's a risky move, but
It is.
if you're willing to take it,
I mean, you could send Rosie or Stack.
I mean,
she's
I
also
already
got
said it.
employees, so.
Yeah, she does have employees.
I mean, I'm not making anything. There's a kitchen. I just have to go pick something up. It'll only be a few minutes, but still.
All right, so you got a guy. What are you doing?
It's just the three of us.
Right now, it's just the three of you.
Spectro is going to send a psychic message to Jonathan and just said, we'll learn all we need to know when we get our hands on him.
I nod. I look over at Watney. Just kind of stare at him for a little bit.
And you said you took the hood off of this guy, right?
I'm just kind of holding the hood in my hands. And then I look over down at Mr. Salas.
He says,
Hello.
what did I do?
Nothing.
Then why am I here?
I'm not gonna keep you.
Okay, that doesn't answer my question.
I just kind of nod and don't say anything. And fold up the burlap bag, put it in my pocket.
So then he snack for later.
Yeah.
In case he gets peckish.
So he turns and he looks at like Spectro and Watney and goes, "What am I doing here? Why am I here?"
Spectro's just gonna pointedly ignore him and just start kind of poking around the room. He's gonna hum "Mac the Knife" to himself while he does it.
Love that song.
I'm not even gonna try it with the pallbearer voice.
I can't.
Well, you are here because of where you were previously.
Where was I previously?
Do you not remember?
I don't remember very much.
Do you remember your name?
Victor?
Okay, Victor. I'm Richard. It's nice to meet you.
I guess it's nice to meet you. Is there a reason I'm tied up?
I think, Well, we don't want you getting away from us before we get the information that we need from you.
Okay, so you tied me up because you want me to tell you things. Why should I tell you anything? You could be commies for all I know.
Oh, son, we are very much the opposite of commies. We work for the United States government, and what you know is a matter of national security.
Are you telling me that
Spectro is going to at that point Spectro is going to stomp very, very hard on Dr. Watney's foot. And give him the stare and the one eyebrow raised, and his head is going to vibrate a little bit in that uniquely Paul Bearer kind of way.
So are you telling me that my United States government has taken me hostage, bound me, and is now questioning me?
I think Dr. Watney is going to stare daggers at Dr. Spectro and just look him in the eye while saying, "Oh, apparently so."
Oh my god.
Like he looks at you guys, he looks around and he goes, "I don't believe you. I don't have much. You can't. There's not much I can give you. Just don't hurt my wife and my kids.
My grandson.
I don't have a grandson yet. Hector would be in his, if he was born in 1950, he'd be in his 70s.
I know.
You can give us information, and this information is worth something to us, and we could set you up fairly nicely if you cooperate with us.
I don't understand what I've done wrong.
Dr. Watney
I won't give up any government secrets.
Dr. Watney is going to stare pointedly at Spectro and raise an eyebrow. He knows Spectro is the person who acquired him, but he doesn't know anything about that.
Spectro's just gonna cock an eyebrow like harder back at you. Like,
Oh my gosh.
It's just a giant
imagining-
tape measuring contest. All right.
Oh,
So I think Betty, you can show back up with food and water at this point in time.
Excellent. I've got bread and a light stew and a pitcher and a glass of water on a tray. What was the last thing that was said? Don't hurt my family, kind of thing. Was that it?
It was like, I'm not sure what I've done wrong, I think.
No, he said he wouldn't give up any government secrets.
Okay.
You guys are gonna have to on time so we can eat his food.
Yes. Well, nobody's asking you to betray the government. Quite the opposite. And she sets the stuff down on the table.
I'm sorry, and who are you?
I'm Betty. Pleasure to meet you. Can somebody
I
handle
wish I
his...
could say it was a pleasure.
Well, hopefully when all this is sorted out, it will be. Can somebody unrestrain him so the gentleman can eat?
I'm going to get behind him and then the ropes and stuff.
And what?
Is it like ropes? It's ropes. That's holding him together.
Yeah, he's
right?
tied up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of slice them apart with my nails, my claws.
He like pulls his hands from behind his back and starts rubbing, feeling into his wrists and hands. And he says, "Is there truth serum in that food? Are you trying to get me to talk? I won't talk."
No. Truth serum doesn't work that way. And I can assure you the food is perfectly safe. Would it make you feel better if I had some first?
He slowly nods.
Okay, so Betty takes one of the slices of good crusty bread and just kind of dips it in the stew, and then takes a bite of it.
And he says, "And in the water."
And after she chews and swallows, she'll pour herself a little water in the cup and then drink it. I assure you, it's perfectly safe. Help yourself.
So he begins to do that.
So, sir, I didn't catch your name.
The name is Victor.
Victor. Are you aware of your where you've been for the past few days?
I don't have a lot of memories. I remember going into the hospital in Washington D.C. for well, you see, I have this wound from the war, and like he pulls up like the cuff of his pants, and he's got like a pretty nasty wound from like a shell or something.
Okay.
And he says, "Well, I was having trouble walking, so I went to the hospital. They got me looked at, and then they put me down for surgery. And when I woke up, I was in a small room, and I don't know who had me prisoner, but they did many experiments on me, and then one day somebody grabbed me and put that bag over my head. They tied me up, and then they threw me in the trunk of a car, and I drove. We drove for a couple hours, I think, and then I was transferred to the back of somebody else's car, and we were in there for a couple minutes, and then I was transferred to another vehicle. I think it might have been an aircraft, and then I don't remember much after that. And then I woke up in the back of somebody else's car, and now I'm here.
I see. So you're saying that you were taken from a military hospital before you were in the trunk of the car? And that you have been experimented on previously to being taken to the so-called aircraft?
I had been experimented on in some facility somewhere. I didn't see very many people. When I did, they were in white lab coats and they had surgical masks on.
And then after you were taken onto the aircraft, was the covering ever removed from your head?
I remember some bright lights. Like I was like when they put you out on the operating table and you're looking into the lights, it looked a lot like that. I may have been operated on. I don't know. I don't remember a lot from the aircraft. I don't remember a lot from being in the facility either. Although I remember more than that.
Well, why don't you relax and enjoy the food for a little while? We'll try not to keep you for too long. I assure you, you'll be comfortable and safe, and no harm will come to you or your family. And we'll get to the bottom of what happened to you.
Okay.
Oh my!
I just look at the others and I'm like, gentlemen, may I speak with you outside?
Spectro's just gonna follow right along.
Yep. Same.
Okay. So I will lock the door when everybody's out. And I'll flag somebody down to stand outside of it. And then we'll head over to the office. Where exactly did you find this guy?
Oh, you know.
I didn't find him. I'm not gonna do the voice today. My throat is kind of. I didn't find him. I requested a suitable subject through my contacts. Keep in mind, we have no idea if he is telling the truth.
That's true. He could be lying, or he could be terribly confused, or whatever the heat was done to him on that ship made him believe what he's saying. But I have a feeling that whatever it is, he believes what he's saying.
And this is not someone we trust already. We need him to trust us before he will actually give us the information we need, it seems like.
So Minnie, is there any way that I can actually get memories out of this guy without blasting his brain into pudding?
With magic?
Yeah.
So you don't have to ruin his brain to get information out of him with magic. You can, but you don't have to. There's more subtle magics than that.
Okay.
And maybe you're not good at them, but maybe somebody like Rosie is a little better at it. Because Rosie doesn't deal with angry Egyptian god magic.
Right. And if we did a small piece of his hair, we could.
Well, that was just me. That was just me checking on some out of game information that Spectro would have that Ray necessarily doesn't have.
You might be able to. You might be able to convince him to say more. He's deliberately being very vague. He gave enough of an answer to Betty to satisfy her, but he's still being very guarded.
Mm-hmm. No, he's definitely not telling us everything. He probably knows a lot more about whatever experiments were done on him previously. I think.
You can manipulate him to get him to tell you more.
Yeah.
I think we should just see how this plays out when the rest of the party arrives. Because maybe someone else has information about where this person came from. As far as I'm concerned, I asked for an appropriate subject. I gave the details that I could, and he's what showed up. In these situations, I typically don't ask a lot of questions. I assume that if my superiors approved of this enough to procure an appropriate subject, they would have their reasons.
Well, I think whoever you went to screwed the pooch on this one.
And Spectral kind of shrugs. Or, if he could be lying, he could think this sympathy story is the best way to get him out of whatever situation he's found himself in.
Well, we did want a volunteer, and for whatever situation he was in previous to the exchange, should have been improved upon the completion of the exchange. So, if whatever he's into is so bad that even that won't help him, then we might be out of luck.
He seems patriotic and healthily anti-communist. I think we can work with this without resorting to any form of.
Wouldn't the communists
violence.
tell you that they were anti-communist to throw you off? Isn't that exactly what a communist would say?
I'm thinking.
The worst and dumbest logic known to man every time.
While it is possible, I believed him.
I'm just deciding right now. No. Never mind.
But we are all in agreement that he's obviously holding back, and he can probably tell us more about his abduction. Why don't we start with a little bit more about who he is? See, so if taking a concern in him personally might not help build a rapport.
Dr. Spectre just kind of shrugs. Like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay, then. Well, if you gentlemen don't mind, I would like a moment to speak with him alone. You can stand outside the door. I'll open the vent. You'll be able to hear everything.
Dr. Spectre just kind of nods.
Dr. Watney shrugs his shoulders.
Jonathan chews on a piece of rope.
Snack.
So, Betty will head back to the little room and unlock it and head in and close it behind her and have the little door vent open. I hope the food is to your liking, Victor.
The food's good. I said food, and Lolo fucking went nuts at raining.
Oh, Luna.
No, not for Lola.
I wanted to ask you more about yourself. Who you are and how you came to be injured in the military.
Just about everybody was injured in the military.
Very true, but I'm curious about your story. For example, Victor, what is your surname?
Salas?
Victor, nice to meet you. And you served in the war. Were you trench bound? Or did you go over on with the invasion forces, or were you on the Pacific? Were you in the Pacific, or were you over in Europe?
I was in the European Theater of War.
Where did you serve?
I served under Patton. I received this injury in the Battle of the Bulge.
I see.
Grandpa Salus was so cool.
It's not something I really like to talk about.
That's understandable. And back home, you have family?
Uh-huh.
Is he wearing a wedding ring?
No, but you can see there's like a tan line where he had one on.
Okay. Married?
Uh-huh.
Any kids?
Yep.
And when was the last time you saw your family?
I don't know now. The morning that I went to the hospital. I don't know how long ago that was.
Do you know what the date was when you went in?
He gives you a date like 6 months earlier.
Okay. That was about 6 months ago, Mr. Salas.
I'm not sure how that could be. I feel like I've been gone for maybe a few weeks. That seems like a long time.
It does seem like a long time.
So is this all some kind of communist ruse? Did like the states trade for me or something and get me back? I'm pretty sure I was in a communist facility when I was being tested on. They were drugging me.
Why do you think they were communists?
Who else would do it?
It's a very good question.
Well, the Nazis are gone, so who else would do it?
Well, we're definitely going to get to the bottom of Mr. Salas. So they drugged you. Was that with needles?
Yeah.
Okay,
They would
and
drug me and they would question me.
were you sitting up or standing? Did they leave you? Did you have a cell or?
Most of the time I was in a cell. Sometimes they would strap me to a table. None of it was pleasant.
I imagine not. I don't know exactly whom. I wouldn't say they were. I couldn't say if they were communists or some other foreign entity. But what I can tell you is that the individuals who are holding you are enemies of the United States.
Yeah, I figured.
We need to know as much as you can tell us about your time with them in order to stave off the threat they pose to this country.
I don't even know that I'm in America. I don't know that you're American. I don't know who you are. You can give me your name all you want, but I'm not going to give you much more than the surface. I'm not going to give away any government secrets. I don't have any government secrets to give away.
Mr. Salas, I'm prepared to do what I can to get you back to your family safe and sound.
With all due respect, Miss Betty, I've been told this before.
What if I told you we could... Does your family have a telephone?
I'm not going to give you their number.
What if I gave you access to a telephone so that you could call them yourself?
So you could trace them?
Dr. Watney's going to start knocking on the door.
I have absolutely no interest in harming you or your family, Mr. Salas. Excuse me, let me see what my counterpart is interested in. And I step out into the hallway and shut the vent. Yes?
I don't think it's a good idea for him to be able to talk to outside people at the moment. Well, I do think that it is a good idea in terms of getting him to cooperate. I don't think it is wise to let someone who we do not know what he is going to do.
You don't think I would give him unrestricted access to an outside line? That line is monitored and can be disconnected at a moment. But if hearing his wife's voice would make him more amenable to speaking with us, I don't see what that would hurt.
We want to know what he knows before anyone else does.
And you think he would call someone who is not his wife in order to divulge secret information rather than using the opportunity to contact his family?
No, I think this provides a chance for him to raise some kind of panic that we can't afford right now.
How about we dangle it as a carrot? And we don't let him use the option until after we have ascertained what he can or cannot communicate to others.
I think it would be a useful carrot. We have other carrots. We could. I mean, we have quite a few resources in my department. We could probably do some kind of arrangement to set him up nicer than what he has. I mean, if he's a veteran, he does deserve something nice. But I think until Dr. Weiss gets here, probably best if we hold off on trying to get him to talk at the moment.
Do you think that Dr. Weiss is going to be any more effective?
No, but I think he will get cross if we do not include him, at least in the ability to hear what the guy has to say.
Fair enough.
So I think Dr. Weiss shows up at this point. You guys are in the back room or just outside the back room. So when he comes in, he sees Rosie and Stack first. And he
Yeah,
goes
we're
over,
probably sitting at the bar.
He goes over to sit next to them, and he goes, sorry. He says, Miss Cunningham, Mr. Moreno.
Dr. Weiss, how are you this evening?
Dr. Weiss?
I'm well. I'm here. Dr. Watney gave me a call and told me there was a gentleman here.
Yes.
He's just right in there. You might want to hurry up, though.
Mr. Moreno, would you come with me?
Yeah. Is everything okay?
Everything's fine for now. I just, he looks over his shoulder. Says, I don't trust Spectro or Jonathan. I'd just like to have you in my corner is all.
Understandable. Rose, you gonna be okay out here by yourself?
Of course, how much trouble could I possibly get into myself? And I think she like has like this sly smile.
Stack just stares at her for a second, shakes his head.
Yeah, Yes, I'm gonna sit here and drink my drink and not cause any problems. Jeez, Stack.
All right. All right. After you, sir.
So, he he says to Clive, he says, "Will you lead the way, Clive?"
He will.
Yeah, and Clive leads him over. So then he walks up.
So, hold on a minute before
Okay.
we actually get into the room. So, Dr. Price, I know for a fact Dr. Spectre's not playing on the level with you.
Oh,
Let's just say he's trying to be sneaky.
yes, I've caught him a few times now trying to be sneaky. That's why I don't trust him. Do you have any specifics you could give me?
Not at this time.
Are
But
you just concerned about his behavior?
yes, I'm keeping my eye on him.
Well, there's definitely cause for concern, so I appreciate you telling me this. So,
Anytime.
if there's anything specific, don't hesitate to tell me.
I won't.
And then you guys catch up, and you get in the back rooms. And Dr. Feist says, "Did I miss anything? Is he talking yet?"
A little bit. He's a bit of a mess. His name is Victor Salas. He's a veteran. He was injured in the war, and upon going to the hospital for treatment, was then experimented on. It's been 6 weeks since he went into the hospital, and was subsequently exchanged with our guests from out of town for the last few days. So he is extremely suspicious and very wary of telling us anything.
He says, "Okay."
He believes he's lost about 6 months of time.
6 months. I'm sorry, I said weeks, didn't I?
Spectre, where'd you get this guy?
Did we ever establish like who exactly what the agency was that I called?
It's a CIA. Well, you called probably one of your friends, but he works for the CIA.
Yeah, you
Okay.
specifically said shady contact.
Um,
And that's all we know.
yeah. I found him through a CIA contact.
All right, so we got him through CIA. Do you mind disclosing the agent's name?
You'll be able to meet him in person soon enough.
Oh, you have him on his way?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So, before we go any further with this conversation, we should tell you that we believe with a pretty high degree of certainty that the visitors have ill intentions towards us. And these ill intentions are fairly imminent from what it sounds like.
More specifically, they are preparing an invasion.
I was trying
Full scale, worldwide.
Well, that's certainly not good.
This is the behavior. Their behavior is in line with every history of colonization, trading glass beads for Manhattan, as it were.
That's troubling. I figured that was a possibility.
Well, it makes the information that Mr. Salas has even more valuable. However, it seems that either he doesn't remember anything or much, or he is actively hiding what occurred to him over those days, or the visitors have.
I don't understand why we're not cracking his head, metaphorically speaking, like a walnut. Wasn't this the plan earlier?
It was the backup plan.
Well, no, I mean we definitely have a plan
To use
To-
mystical means.
to use magical means to view or read his memories. I wouldn't call it cracking his head like a walnut, though. That seems a little unnecessarily violent.
I think if we provide correct incentives, and I'm not being metaphorical to violence here, that we can get him to cooperate with us. He appears to be a patriot. He appears to believe that the things that happened to him that were bad were perpetrated by communists. I think we can
And
work with
and
this.
at this point, the only way to be sure is through mystical means. That all may be true, but think about if it isn't. Think about if there is any stone left unturned. Think about the consequences.
Right.
Well, let's.
So
Regarding
it
mystical
sounds
means,
like our best means of moving forward with this debriefing is by magical means, unless Miss Mansfield thinks that she can charm
I think I
the
might be able
information.
to
Well,
get him to talk.
Dr. Watney, if you think you can get him to talk and we don't have to break into his mind, then all's the better. But
Right.
if he really doesn't remember anything, then we have several mages at our disposal.
Vice, you, Spectre, and I all served in the war, and Spectre, I know you were against the idea, but one of the cards, if there's anybody who can talk to him about anything, it's probably the three of us.
I like Dr. Watney's bedside manner a little bit more than I like yours, Jonathan.
John scoffs dramatically.
Alright, here. I'll go talk to him, and if I can't get him to talk and reveal what he knows, then get ready.
okay, Dr. Watney, remember the carrot, and then also, if we could get his cooperation into submitting to the magical reading, tell him it's something like hypnosis, and see if he'll agree to do it.
Okay. Yeah, I think he'll head into the room then. Is anyone else going to be in the room with him?
No, I think it's better if you go
I
by
think
yourself.
Okay. So I think he'll pull up a chair, and he'll pull out a pack of cigarettes, and offer them to Victor.
He takes a cigarette and he says, "After you."
Yeah, and oh right, he doesn't smoke yet. He has asthma. Shit.
Wrong. I was gonna say, where do you get the cigarettes?
Fuck, I forgot about that.
Probably carries them though, because they look cool.
No, I think
It's not hard to get a hold of cigarettes.
Yeah.
And you would expect a veteran of World War II to smoke cigarettes.
Stack
Yeah.
has cigarettes. Just bump
I'm
them
sure.
off his
Yeah,
stack like
I'll
Rosie does.
bum him off his stack. We'll retcon that. Bum him off his stack.
Yeah, regardless, he wants you to smoke the cigarettes first, because
Well, I have asthma. If I smoked them myself, I would probably make a lot of noise and wouldn't be able to speak very well for a little bit. So I understand if you're not going to smoke without me doing it first, but I cannot do that.
Yeah, he just puts the cigarette down in front of him.
Fair enough. All right. Well, Victor, we're there's a we're in the middle of a potentially very dangerous situation, and the information that you hold could be the key to preventing it from getting any more dangerous or overcoming this dangerous foe. And we're willing to help you out in your life in exchange for you helping us here.
All right. So, are you rolling to
Yeah.
manipulate him?
Yeah.
Okay, roll it. It's really
Okay.
inconvenient. The arrow cursor on my computer disappeared. I can't get it to come back.
Oh no. That's the worst.
All right. No, now I'm accidentally drawing all over the place. There we go.
Yeah, so 8, that's what I need
7 to
to...
9, they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now.
Yeah.
To show that you mean it. He says, I need to know, before I say anything, I need to know that I'm, 1, in America, 2, speaking to Americans, and 3, that you have the authority to ask these questions of me. Without that information, I won't say a word.
Oh man, he was just chastised for this. Okay. Well, he'll pull up his driver's license, and say, "Well, this is my driver's license. I think we can get. Would there be portable radios at this point? Like
I don't
one
know.
we could bring down into the room to let him to like play, the local station."
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, in the 50s, yeah, they had like smaller radios, I think.
Okay.
I mean, they should be. There was backpack radios for World War II.
Betty, I think he's gonna.
You also have to have some kind of identification to get onto the base, and that wouldn't necessarily say that you were OSU. It would definitely say that you had authorization to get on.
It would probably be the like employee badge kind of thing.
I did it. I got the arrow to come back.
Yay!
It makes my life way easier.
I know what they're called for modern government employees.
Yeah, they're cats.
Yeah,
What?
cat
Cat.
card.
Common access.
Okay, yeah, I guess then.
But they're not. They didn't used to be called that. They were just badges before.
Yeah, he pulled out. He would, if there is a badge that he would carry to get onto the base that does not include the organization's name, he would use that. But if there isn't, well, we can get a we can try to get a radio down here that can play the local station, and that would give you a rough location. We are in New Mexico. I know. I heard. I believe you said you were abducted somewhere near Washington D.C. Correct?
Yeah, that's where I went to the hospital.
Hmm. Yes, I'm sorry that it's so far away.
As long as I'm on American soil, then I that's good.
Well, I can guarantee you that you are on American soil.
Yeah, I need proof though. Get me today's newspaper.
I think, did they hear this outside?
Yeah, Betty'll send the guy that was at the door to go get that.
Yeah, we should have that momentarily.
He says, get me a newspaper from 3 days ago.
We don't toss them right away, so.
we hear Betty shouting after the guy, and the one from 3 days ago. Yes, well, we'll have those. Today is, and he'll say the date.
Yeah, that's kind of what Betty was saying.
Yeah. Let's see. He wanted proof that he was on American soil. He wanted. What were the other things? He wanted proof that
that
we had the
you're
authority.
That you're an American, that we're on American soil, and that you have the authority to ask these questions.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'll be back in a second. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So he'd pull out his driver's license. He would go through a brief explanation of his background. He's born in Massachusetts. Went to this college, etc.
Mm-hmm.
My family has been here in America since nearly the Mayflower.
I don't need to hear your life story. So, what is the proof that you have the authority to ask him questions?
Is there something that Dr. Watney would have on him that would not say the organization that he was a part of, but would prove that he is a government employee?
I don't know. I think that Dr. Weiss will walk in, and he'll say, "Here, we have. I have my credentials right here," and he hands him like a FBI wallet.
Huh.
And then, like, you feel something press into your back, and if you reach back, he's handing you one.
He'll grab it and he'll flip it open.
Look like you're pulling it out of your
yeah. Make
pocket.
it look like I'm pulling it out of the pocket and like try to flip it open to see what it says while I'm handing it to him. Oh, like while I'm showing it to him.
It says Agent Watney, and then there's an FBI badge at the top of the wallet.
What the fuck?
What the
Obviously,
fuck
that is me saying what the fuck.
fuck?
Dr. Weiss apparently has just fucking
He has
FBI
it's actually
identification.
because you guys are like a secret organization. It's pretty common to get fake IDs from other non-secret agencies. Like, it's pretty easy to get a hold of. So, like, Dr. Weiss has got you covered.
Okay. Well, I'm putting that under my other gear then. All right.
And then, like,
Yeah.
I think Dr.
handy.
Weiss drops the newspapers on the table, and then he says, "I'll let you get on with the debriefing." And then he walks out.
All right. Well, Victor, are you satisfied? Is there anything else we can do for you to prove those things?
He says, yeah, I guess it would be really hard for you to fake a paper, let alone a paper from 3 days ago." Then he starts like going through them, and he's just like, "Yeah, advertisements are the same. Yeah, I don't know how you would possibly fake that." And who am I to question the FBI on their authority to ask questions? So, I guess go ahead, ask away.
So, what do you remember about your time after you were moved from car to car and then brought onto that aircraft?
I wasn't lying when I said I don't know much. What I do know is that they were operating on me. They were taking samples. They opened me up in a couple of places, and then he like unbuttoned his shirt, and you see like a very faint line down his chest. He's like, it's almost like it didn't even happen. I don't know how they possibly could have healed that so quickly, but I remember waking up and having these instruments hovering over me. There's a bright light. I was strapped to a table, and there was instruments over top of me that were cutting into me, and I woke up with these marks. And it seemed like they were just trying to I don't know. I have no idea why they were taking me apart, but they were taking me apart, and they were looking at my what makes me me, I guess. And there were other times where I have pretty vivid memories, and then they go blank.
What were the memories? What were they about?
I was in a room by myself, and there was no furniture. There's nothing to keep me comfortable in there. I was just in a room by myself. I wasn't bound. The walls and the floor were some kind of metal. The door was some kind of metal. There was no window. There was no vents. There was a rectangular object up in the corner. There was a light, and there was a vent. And every time that vent opened, I blacked out. And I woke up that one time after being blacked out, and that's when I remember seeing the instruments.
So it sounds like they used some form of anesthesis, but it also sounds like they may have used some form of mental manipulation, like hypnosis, to change your memories or dull them. We have experts in that field as well. If you would allow it, we can do that. We can try to reverse that process or learn what we can from our own experts doing this. Would you feel comfortable with that?
I'm not sure I feel comfortable, but if it's what my country needs of me, then who am I to say no?
Then it sounds like what the people who vivisected you could not find was that you are what makes you you is that you are a good, God-fearing American citizen.
He tries to smile. He's not really very happy. So.
All right. Well, thank you, Victor. I will go speak to my colleagues, and we'll try to get this done as soon as we can and return you back to where you're from.
All right, I appreciate that. So I think while Dr. Watney's in there, Dr. Weiss takes Spectro aside and says, Spectro, I have a weapon that I've been working on.
A weapon?
Yes. And I think it could be used to combat these visitors. It is it's a robot, but it emanates a poison that I think could help. The only problem I'm finding is I can't get a power source, and I think Dr. Watney can do it. I think he can make the power source. He's good at that. But I want to be able to poison these creatures if I can, and maybe we can, on the next meeting, we can exchange them, and we can get this poison into their ship. Do you think that you and Jonathan could get a hold of one of the aliens?
Hmm. Physically isolate and capture one.
Well, you see, we have to know what kind of poisons work on them. The poison isn't the most important thing. The weapon is a robot. I think it could stand up to those things that you fought. The alien tanks, the crab creature, the crab thing.
Crab tanks is a suitable name, I believe.
Yes, I think it would be able to, but again, we need the power source. I don't know much about magics. Do you think that magics could power something like this?
Perhaps we could lure another away party and capture them that way, but I think with the proper, there would be a cost. Let's just say magics could do it, but there would be a need to put away squeamishness.
Yes, that's fine.
Then magic can do it.
I'm comfortable with making sacrifices for the greater good.
Of course, that's what's called on from time to time. But Jonathan and I could attempt to capture an alien.
Ask Arthur to help you with that. I think Arthur would be able to help you in this matter. I think his skills reflect the what's needed to do this.
All right, Dr. Spectro nods to that.
So if you think you can get a hold of them, I can get a hold of them and arrange another meeting. You come up with a plan, and I will send them a message. They've learned to communicate through Morse code, although it's difficult, but they can use Morse code.
Dr. Spectro nods.
So he says, I'm going to go make some calls and see what we can get done here. Just think about what I said. And then he walks away. After a little bit, Dr. Feist comes out back to the bar, and he sits next to Rosie. And he says, Miss Cunningham.
Yes, Dr. Weiss?
See, I have a pretty good idea of your skill set. I don't know precisely what it is you do, but I have a good idea. And I think you can help us here.
In what way?
You see, I didn't used to believe in magics, but I found some things in the war. I met some men in the war. And well, one of those men helped me ward my office. And I believe that our friends, Dr. Spectro and Jonathan, were trying to spy on me using magic. I happen to believe that you're skilled in this type of magic.
You flatter me so, but I would have to agree with you. Your assumption is correct.
And he like smiles a little bit at that and he says, "Good, good. I need you to spy on the visitors."
I thought someone was never going to ask. I've been waiting for the opportunity to do so.
Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear that you're excited. Tell everything you know, everything you learn. Tell it to Dr. Watney. I'm gonna go make some calls and try to get some more bodies on this project.
Of course, it may take some time,
That's all
as
right.
they are
This is a
quite a distance away.
this is a technology that we don't have ourselves, so it's something only you or someone like you can do. However long it takes, it's fine.
Of course, I will. I'll do some digging around and see how quickly I'm able to do this.
All right, I appreciate it. And he gets up and he asks Clive if he could use the phone. And he like stands off the side of the bar and starts calling people. Okay, so what would you like? What would you guys like to do?
Hypnotize.
What?
Hypnotize Victor.
Yeah, I think it's time for that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So does Dr. Spectro do this on his own, or does he bring in?
We discussed previously with Big.
I can barely hear you, Silk.
I said we discussed previously that this would be big magic.
That it would be big magic. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what Brandon said before.
Okay. Okay. So if it's gonna be big magic, then we'd have to bring in everybody. So
it depends on the what I
yeah.
choose for the things.
So what's involved in this before I start making decisions?
So I don't think this one is. No, I don't think this one is big magic. I think scrying on the aliens is big magic.
Okay.
I don't think hypnotizing is big magic. Let me check real quick. Why are there so many sounds coming from my downstairs? Somebody's making a mess or something. Yeah, so you can use magic for this. You can even observe another place and time. You don't even necessarily have to hypnotize him. You can just use him as like a focal point.
Okay. Okay, so that's what I'm going to try and do then. I'm going to try to see another place and time, and I'm going to try and see the time that he was aboard the alien ship.
Okay.
Go
ahead and roll weird.
Yep.
All right. What does it look like when Dr. Spectro tries to cast this?
All right. So Dr. Spectro has his amulet out. And I think what happens is he kind of places the amulet on Victor Salas's head, like his forehead. And they kind of lock eyes, and that's how Dr. Spectro experiences it through them locking eyes.
Okay. So I think this is going to have a problematic side effect. And I think maybe you make Victor go a little bit insane. But it works though.
Crazy Grandpa Salus.
Okay.
Right, so you see this specific place and time. You start viewing after he gets onto the ship. The ship he's put into that little room he talked about right away. You can see, the floor is metal, the ceiling's metal, the walls are metal. The door is like a sliding door. It's like hydraulic or something. You're not sure. You could see the rectangular object on the ceiling. It moves. It's got like a round glassy circle on the front of it. And kind of like you're watching like a movie on fast forward. You see Victor pacing the small room, and then a vent opens up, and he passes out. You watch him pass out. A couple moments after he passes out, some of the aliens come in. You see them without their space, their like spacesuits on. Then they're small grays, so it takes like 3 of them to move them. But they pick him up. They drag him over to an operating table, a couple rooms like down a hallway in a different room. They strip him. They tie him down basically, and then they leave the room and go into another room, and then they have instruments that they're basically like robotic surgical arms come down, and they cut him open, and they like pull out his organs and look at them, and like there's like an eye that comes down and scans all of his organs, and then they're carefully placed back in, and then he's kind of almost welded shut with like a laser. They put him away, and they take him out, and they do this to him a couple of times. And at one point in time, they take off the top of his head, and they start checking. They start scanning his actual brain, and then they put his head back on, and they're able to like close it like they did everything else. And they're just running a whole bunch of experiments on him. They take tissue samples. You can see them go into different rooms and test the tissue samples. They're just getting. They're basically. It looks like they're trying to figure out what's possible for humans. They do seem really unsatisfied with the brain scan, though.
Okay.
And that's when You think they decide they need a second subject after that,
Okay.
and then you're back, and I think you took Victor with you, and Victor saw all this as well, and now I think he's catatonic and maybe a little bit insane.
That's what I figured happened. Okay. So I'm going to assume Dr. Watney can draw, right? He's an engineer. Like that makes sense. He'll know how to draw and
Yeah.
stuff, right?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to get weird with you. I'm going to get weird with Dr. Watney.
Okay.
Welcome to Dr. Watney Learns to Believe in Magic today. Dr. Weiss, Dr. Watney, bring a pencil and paper, please. I have learned much.
Okay.
Dr. Watney, in a moment, you will see visions. You will imagine them. I need you to draw everything you see.
Very well.
And Dr. Spectro is going to use his telepathy to put his memories of what he saw into Dr. Watney's head, so Dr. Watney can draw out the inside of the spaceship and what the aliens look like without their suits, and like diagram out the procedures that they did to Salus.
So are you using magic on me?
Yeah, this is I'm it's basically telepathy.
Okay.
I have the ability telepathy. I can put thoughts and words into other people's heads.
Oh, that's just the thing you can do? Like you
Yeah.
don't have to roll for it? Okay.
Nope. Just another way of communicating.
Okay. I think I think when you first do it, he like freaks out. He like jumps up from where he's sitting, he like flips the table. I goes, what the hell was that?
That was what we need you to draw. That was the interior of the visitor spacecraft.
It's awful.
I am being as gentle as I can be. Do not push against it, or it will become very unpleasant.
Somehow I doubt you are being as gentle as you could be. Fine. We don't have time for the squabbling. Fine. Yeah, and then he's gonna sketch out what he sees, muttering under his breath the whole time.
He's so Dr. Spectro is actually going to be gonna play this straight and just tell Dr. Weiss, this is what they saw, this is what they did. There is a possibility that they have inserted something into him during all these procedures, and I missed it. Like, I'm not a medical specialist. I'm not a medical specialist. This is my field. There was a lot going on. It's possible. We should at least get him x-rayed. He's going to mention that they didn't find whatever they did with his brain. They were not happy with it. They decided they needed another specimen. And that's basically that's all the information he gave me, I think. So yeah, he's going to be pretty complete in what he says.
Okay.
And he's going to say, Mr. Salus, unfortunately, experience these memories again, but without the benefit of anesthesia. I believe the effect may have been fairly traumatic.
So you're saying that this is a result of what is it called? Like some sort of shell shock?
Yeah, they called it shell shock back then.
That will be the closest. That will be the closest. Yes. Yes. Shell shock. I'm sorry. I couldn't figure out how to word it.
Yeah, they
Okay,
did
I'll
not
have,
call it post traumatic stress disorder back then.
no.
They did call it shell shock.
Or
Okay,
battle fatigue.
Battle fatigue is another one. Yep.
Battle fatigue would have been a little earlier, I think. I'll have somebody keep an eye on him and make sure he's cared for and see if there's any lingering effects. So she's gonna flag down some folks and maybe take him to a place that's got a principal cop. We probably will put some hospital restraints on him and stuff.
While this is all going on, would Rosie be able to like look up what she needs exactly to do the scrying based on the message you sent?
Yeah, you can figure that out.
Okay. Is Jonathan in the room or outside the room?
Jonathan is in the back room.
Yeah, is he outside, like standing outside of the door, or is he in the room?
I feel like he's just kind of wandering around, unsure what to do with himself. His stomach says, "Eat the dead man's fingers."
He's not dead! I think Rosie is going to approach Jonathan with
Yeah, I
a
made it so
pleasant
that
smile.
Victor had kids already. That way, if somebody ended up killing Victor, it wouldn't
Hector would still happen.
Yeah, it wouldn't cause a fucking
A time paradox.
Yeah. Oh,
You look
jeez.
bored, Jonathan.
Lola just jumped on the bed and stepped on Ella because she was under the blanket.
Oh no.
Poor Ella.
All right, so let's take a 5-minute break, and
Cool
then
beans.
we'll get back to the game at 9:31.
You got it.
If Jonathan was left alone with this, they would come back to check on Victor, and Jonathan would be eating his innards like fucking spaghetti.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's why Rosie's gonna take Jonathan away.
Yeah, also, that's why Betty's people took him away to put him somewhere. Well, that's not why, but but also he wasn't responsible.
Oh, you people.
Do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart?
I don't want that song stuck in my head, so if you could please stop it, that would be great.
Dr. Dick hears that song and he just says, "Yes!" And he pulls out like this calcified heart that's got like a curse on it.
Yeah. I couldn't gauge how you were feeling overall, so I figured we would chat about it. Yeah, no, it was just really, really pleasant.
Ah. Huh.
No, Heidi.
What's Heidi doing?
She's being a loaf on my bed, but she was nibbling at my blanket.
No.
Oh, show you. That's my face. How do I turn you around? There she is. No.
This she is. This is Miss Heidi. No. Look at that bean. No.
Live guinea pig petting action.
It's what the Twitch fans crave.
Only one person is watching right now, anyway.
I hope you enjoy this guinea pig petting.
AJ was watching at some point, and so was Lily. I don't know if either of them are still watching.
I am definitely enjoying the guinea pig petting.
I'd enjoy it a lot more if I was the one doing it.
That's fair.
We got the kittens we're fostering sexed today.
How
Two
many
girls and a boy.
Aww.
Mischief, the chaos causer, is definitely a boy.
No, you have to stay on the towel. Because you like to pee on bed.
Are you working tomorrow, Brandon?
No.
I wanted to do the last couple items I need for the trip running around. I have to go to Target and I want to drop off some stuff to a Goodwill donation center or whatever. If you want to come, if you and Kate and the boys want to tag along.
Okay. I'll let you know.
Okay.
No chin rubs, okay.
Is everybody back?
I'm back.
I'm here.
Phil?
I'm here.
Ray? I hear Ray in the background. I don't think Ray's back yet.
Yeah.
Goodness. Accept my love. I know I'm not Pig Dad. Oh, thank you for the kissing. get my fingies.
All right, sounds like everybody's back.
Yeah, I just got back. Sorry.
That's all right. Okay. So, Rosie was going to get Jonathan.
Yep.
Okay.
Jonathan, you look rather bored out here.
What?
What?
Well, Miss Cunningham, you're not really one to go out of your way to make conversation with me, so you must want something.
Well, excuse me, you don't exactly do the same either.
Jonathan kind of huffs.
Am I lying?
Doesn't really matter, does it? Do you need something?
Yes, Jonathan, I need your help.
Alright. Got my interest.
Because I would honestly rather you help than Spectro.
That's fair. He's very accomplished, but we are better at other things.
I'm just needing probably some more, maybe not the cleanest magic, if that makes sense.
Jonathan kind of nods.
And you know how to get to the meeting site, because you drove, didn't you?
I always drive. I don't need Spectre having a vision in the middle of the turnpike.
Well, I need your help. It's going to take more than my abilities to be able to scry on these aliens. I'm going to need some extra oomph.
Alright.
And in exchange, as I've been doing some reading, I could probably potentially unlock the back door to the morgue down the street for you.
You're implying something.
Yes, Jonathan, because I know what you are. And I
And
know you're probably hungry.
what do you think I am, Miss Cunningham?
Well, I know you're not human.
You're right.
Would you rather me discuss it out here in public?
No. I guess you just have a bicycle, don't you? I'm going to to Spectro until I'm taking the car, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Alright.
Hold on. And she goes over to Stack and grabs his arm.
What?
I need your help. We gotta go.
All right. I don't think I'm needed here.
And if you were, Dr. Weiss would understand. He asked me to do this anyway.
Okay.
Alright. Sociopath crew away.
And we
Just kind of
follow
like-
Jonathan out to the car.
I guess we're just kind of driving along to whatever radio station Dr. Spectre likes to listen to.
It's probably something like weirdly cheery.
Oh, it's absolutely like the most poppy pop, like
Very
like
doo-wop.
doo-wop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's doo-wop. doo-wop and big band.
Dig it.
It's like that song that's like, put your head on my shoulder. Like that one.
All right. So, where you guys headed?
To the meeting spot.
Okay. Do you have a scene in the car, or do you want to just fast forward to
I
there?
guess.
Hmm?
So, like, as we're driving along, Jonathan kind of grabs the what's the driver mirror called that points to the back?
The
Rear
rear
view
view
mirror?
mirror.
He kind of grabs the rear view mirror and angles it so it's focusing more on Rosie and Stack in the back of the car. So,
Yes, Jonathan.
I'm not talking to you, although you did stab me once. I remember that.
What is it, Jonathan?
You tell me. You're the one who wanted to talk about something.
I was just saying that I could make this worth your while by getting you into a potentially useful place for you.
That would be nice.
See, I can be nice. I would like to think that I'm a pretty nice person.
You're something, alright.
I'm something. What's that supposed to mean?
Thing seems to, like, chuckle to himself and, like, fixes the mirror. Maybe you should have been his protege instead of me.
Spectras? Ugh, he hates me. There's no way we would have gotten along.
I would consider it the closest form of respect you can get out of him.
Respect.
If he hates
Really?
you, it means you're worth his while to even consider you.
Well, then I'll take that as a compliment.
That's what I mean.
But, you know, I'm not gonna make you drive us around and help us for nothing. You should get rewarded.
Yeah. Well, you should probably kind of stay. You don't want the aliens to come, do you?
No.
Then I'm going to just kind of park a little bit before. I don't want them to just come down here. That would be awkward.
No, we just need to be close. I need need to be close to where they've been landing.
Alright. So I'm just gonna, like, park us a reasonable distance away. Maybe under the cover of some fucking trees or whatever.
Okay.
Do I need to like go stand out there or is this close enough?
No, you got to be at the meeting place.
Okay.
We'll just walk.
Alright, rest of the way on foot, gentlemen.
All right.
And
I guess I'll lead the way.
So, you know, Stack,
It's Jonathan.
I was trying to help you when you stabbed me.
I didn't know.
I have yet to hear you apologize for stabbing me.
Well,
Stack, why don't you just apologize?
this is the first time I've heard him actually saying he was trying to help me. Jonathan, I am sorry.
You're welcome. I appreciate it.
And I appreciate your help right now, Jonathan.
Pete's organizing papers.
So what are we doing?
Spying.
she pulls the vial with the alien, like the green alien blood, out of her handbag.
Ah,
We're spying, but it was going to take a lot more juice than I can do by myself. That's why I need you two. Also, I was starting to get kind of bored listening to Spectro and Watney go back and forth about logistics.
yeah, I'm starting to get bored of that too.
I think once they get there, yeah, she starts flipping through her. She pulls out her green velvet spellbook and starts flipping through.
If I'm up close to the spell book, Carly, what can you tell me about the spell book from like physical appearances?
It's a small, like, it actually just kind of looks like, it looks very unassuming. Like, it kind of just looks like a small, normal book, like maybe a journal or something, like something small that could easily be kept in like a handbag or a purse. It's the pages definitely, like the edge of the pages definitely look quite old, but the binding is a deep green velvet, and if you are like notice really carefully, like it looks like it had a bookmark at one point, but it's missing. And Rosie wears a green velvet bow in the back of her hair. And it has no markings on the spine or anything, and it looks like there might be a very faded, like, small gold symbol on the front, but it's so faded and old you really can't tell.
Nice.
So this would be big magic, correct?
Yes.
So alright. It's been so long since I've rolled big magic. I'm trying to remember.
Just roll weird.
Just roll weird. Did we all roll weird?
No, just you.
Just me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but I get a plus because I have the vial.
Yes.
Because I have my sympathy +1 ongoing. Please. I'm so scared.
Always use your luck.
Ah! Okay. I got an 11.
All right. So you start to scry, and you close your eyes. Everybody here can see what's happening. Close your eyes, and when you open them, you're on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
The alien that whose eyes you're looking through is sitting what would be considered like the bridge of the ship
Mm-hmm.
with a few more aliens. He turns, and you can see like a holographic map, basically of the North America. They're like touching spots, and where they touch spots, like one of their ships, like boop, shows up
On the map.
on the map.
Okay.
And it looks like they're discussing invasion plans. You watch this for a little bit, and you get a pretty good idea what their plan is. And then this guy leaves, and he heads over to what would be, it looks like a bunch of labs. and you see Betty's contact. Like, he looks through a window,
Mm-hmm.
and then Betty's contact is on a table, and she's being opened up. And it's pretty gross to see,
Mm-hmm.
but you watch her being experimented on. And then he watches for a couple moments. He's like, you know, the observation rooms that like surgeons use for teaching.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of those. So he leaves. He goes back out in the hallway, and then he heads down to like a hangar, and you see the large, the really big crawler,
Mm-hmm.
and underneath of that is hanging a bunch of the small crawlers, and it looks like probably 100 crawlers.
Yeesh.
And you can see some of the aliens are working on them right now. And after like a little bit, you don't see a whole ton of a lot more. But you're able to get some pretty good looks at the battle map. You're able to see a lot of detail in the machines because they're being worked on, and they're definitely planning for some kind of invasion, like without a doubt in any of your minds. And that's it. After a little while, you guys can't keep the spell open anymore, and
Discord for
you come back to your bodies.
my Discord froze, so I had to close it. So I missed like the last minute.
All right, what did you hear?
The last thing you were saying is like I got a really good look at the battle map, and I started to ask
Oh,
a
yeah.
question
You got some pretty good details out of the battle map.
like would you think I got enough, like I looked at it long enough that I could have possibly memorized some of the positions?
All three of you saw it, so
Okay.
I think between the three of you, you could fill that map out. And
Okay.
then you also got some pretty good details of the crawlers. Like they were open because people were like, because the
Working on
aliens
them.
were working on them. So you got some pretty good details on those too.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Cool. Yikes. This does not look good.
I mean, we're expecting it.
I know.
It just confirms our suspicions.
Well, at least for now it seems like we weren't found out that we were doing that, so. God, did you see what they were doing to her?
Yeah.
Ugh. Is that gonna
About
be
it.
us?
Well, probably not. But maybe.
Probably not you and me, but they might do something like that to Jonathan there. Or try to.
Back into the frying pan. That's fine. But we should probably go report back before they notice we're down here.
Yeah. And she closes her spellbook and slips it in the small vial with the alien blood back into her bag.
All right. So back at the retreat, Ray, your CIA contact shows up.
Okay.
He walks like he walks in like not knowing what's going on. Like this place, this address is weird. He's never been here before. Um, and he kind of walks in and like looks around. He looks a little like befuddled. And he goes, "I'm looking for an associate of mine, one Dr. Spectro." He says that to, I guess, to Clive.
You were expected, and then Clive takes him to the back.
All right, so your boy walks in, and he says, "Spectro."
Do you have a name for him, or should I just go with something?
You could come up with a name. He's your NPC.
Okay. Mr. Stanley. Thank you for coming on such short notice. We have learned much.
All right, what do you need me for?
Well, we assumed that you would want to retrieve the subject.
Yeah, are you done with him?
Is Dr. Weiss around, or is this just Spectro and
Dr. Weiss is on the phone.
Dr. Weiss is on the phone. He'll say, "I must speak with Dr. Weiss before I can assure you, but come, I have information I must share with you."
All right.
And I assume
Either way.
this guy is read in on the whole existence of aliens thing.
I think he knows there's something going on.
Yeah. So Dr. Spectro is going to bring him up to speed and, share with him the information and the drawings and whatnot, and basically make a report to this guy.
All right. Who's like, "Oh, that's interesting stuff, Doctor." Yeah, I
We are
have to
going
admit,
to
we didn't have much of this information.
I'm going to continue to work with Dr. Weiss to see if we can stop this from our end. I will obviously continue to forward any more information that I might learn. And then, are we gonna see how secure is this area where we're at?
In the
I would
back,
call it more private than like super secure. Like you're not being spied on here, but
Yeah. Okay. He's going to on a piece of notebook paper, like a piece of like loose leaf from a pad or something like that.
okay.
Like just notebook paper. He's gonna write out about Dr. Weiss's weapon. And he's going to operate as if the Dr. Weiss's weapon was what he saw in his dreams or in his visions.
Uh-huh.
And he's gonna like lay out the capabilities of this thing. And just, this is what OSI is working on. Because I assume Dr. Weiss is OSI.
Yeah, Dr. Weiss is OSI.
Just as this is what OSI is currently working on. And he'll mark it, he'll do a fieldcraft code that indicates that this is sort of eyes only information. And he'll give that to whatchamacallit, to Mr. Stanley. And
Okay.
he'll say, "Now if you just wait until we can talk with Dr. Weiss and we can make a plan to go forward."
Yeah, sure thing. And he folds it up and puts it in his like jacket pocket. All right. So now once you go over to Dr. Weiss, he's on the phone and he sees in he gives you the 1 minute finger. And then he closes his conversation, hangs up the phone. And he says,
Dr. Weiss, I would like you to meet Mr. Stanley.
"Mr. Stanley," and they shake hands, and he says, "Dr. Weiss." He says, "What can I do for you?"
Mr. Stanley is here to retain custody of Mr. Salas when we are finished.
He goes, and this was part of your deal?
And Dr. Spectro is gonna shake his head. Shake his head yes. Or nod his head yes.
And he goes, and Mr. Stanley, you can corroborate Mr. Salas's debriefing. And Mr. Stanley gets a little bit uncomfortable, and he says, well, what did you hear? Dr. Feiss says, honestly, not much before I got here, though. He was questioned. Might want to speak to Dr. Watney about that. He might be able to tell you some more.
This would have been all information that Dr. Spectro told him.
Oh, this is all stuff that you told him? That you gave him all the debriefing info?
Yeah.
Alright. So, Mr. Stanley's playing dumb. Like, he doesn't know anything about this guy. And he says, well, if you have any questions, you can contact my superiors and you can request a debriefing, but good luck with that. Says, where's the guy?
We put him in out of character, by the way. We put him in a like a small overnight spot with like a cot and there's a hospital bed. Like there was a hospital bed. Anyway, he's in another one of the rooms in the back with restrained on the bed. But I think Betty stepped away to take care of the particulars of caring for him. So I guess Dr. Spectro would know where he went.
Okay. And he says, yeah, I don't want to wait here all night. I got places to be. Where is he? Where's the guy? And Dr. Weiss just says, you cut the deal with them.
All right, and and Dr. Spectral will show Mr. Stanley we'll show Mr. Stanley to where Victor is.
I think once he gets there, he goes, what's wrong with him?
Dr. Spectro is going to do the eyebrow raise and says, did you see the drawings that were made?
Yeah, I got a brief look at him.
No one comes through that without a little bit of mental damage.
Yeah, as you say. All right. Well, I'm not sure he's much use to me like this. And he says, I'll just arrange to have him shipped back to his family. So, all right. Well, thanks for getting him back to us.
Of course. I like to think this was a mutually profitable arrangement.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. And he pats his chest where he put the documents you gave him. Yeah, me too. All right. Well, Dr. Spectro, thank you very much. And he shakes your hand. He says, I'll take him from here. And then he starts unbuckling the guy. And then dragging him out.
Okay.
Probably whoever was left to keep an eye on him will help, so he's not like dragged.
Okay. Yep. And he takes him out and he throws him in the trunk of his car.
God damn it!
Oh no!
Poor Victor.
Poor Victor, indeed. All right. Yeah, he leaves with all the information you gave him, and then
Before he goes, Dr. Spectro is going to remind him to have a full medical examination done to make sure that the aliens didn't put anything into him and to forward the results.
he goes, "Sure thing," and then rolls up his window and drives off. Dr. Weiss comes out and he says, "All right, well, now that we got that out of the way, I've spoken to a couple of my higher ups. We need more information before the government's willing to move."
Aren't the others doing a scrying ritual right now?
That's what I sent them to do, yeah.
Perhaps that will be enough for us to act.
I hope so, but just in case it's not, have you thought of anything? Maybe get us some of them, hands on some of them visitors.
Perhaps we can isolate a scout craft or stage some sort of interference with one of the trade-offs.
All right. I don't know where to find any scout crafts, but we could definitely stage a interference with an exchange.
That would be the easiest way. My only concern is that might begin hostilities before we are fully ready.
Yeah, but hopefully they'll begin hostilities before they're fully ready.
It is simply a risk to be considered.
Yeah, there's one thing that we seem to have that they don't seem to have, and that's magic.
I
They got
agree.
technology, but as far as I could tell, they don't have any magic. We'll find out. If they could detect the Miss Cunningham's scrying, then we might not have any chance. I did get the go ahead to move forward with my project though, so I think that would help.
I will begin research as soon as I can to determine what the requirements might be.
Sounds good. And he says, "I need to talk to Dr. Watney. If you'll excuse me."
Of course.
And he goes back inside and he finds Dr. Watney. The doctor?
Doctor, what can I do for you?
So, I don't know exactly what's going on. Or we don't know the exact physiology of these aliens, but you've seen some of my projects. One of them I think is ready. I think we can move forward with it. I think we can use it as a weapon against them. I'm pretty sure it could stand up against those crab tanks that you encountered.
Oh yeah, those were they were pretty large, and I wouldn't want to face one again without better equipment.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping to give you better equipment. My only issue here is we don't have a power source that's fit to run in something like this. So I'm going to need you to focus your time and effort on making something. I spoke to Spectro, and he thinks that it's possible to power it through magic, but he also said that it wouldn't be pretty, and we wouldn't like how it would be done. So
yeah, I would have no. I'd concept of even where to start on that, but I could probably apply my my specialty to it.
That's what I was hoping. So that's the plan. I want to get this thing ready. We are also going to try to get a hold of some of the aliens so that we can run our own tests. So, good luck, Doctor.
Good luck to you as well.
And then he says, I'm heading back to the lab. I'll see you when I see you.
Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening. And then he leaves, jumps in his car, and leaves. Leaves. All right. The three of you that went scrying, you get back to the retreat.
All right.
Jonathan seems eager. And even holds the door open for the Cunningham and the stack.
Such a gentleman.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Fucking lurch.
Have they come out of the back room, or are they still back there?
I don't think there's any reason to be back there anymore. Hector's gone. Sorry, Victor's gone.
Hector, no!
No, Uncle Hecky.
Hector's not.
Uncle Hecky!
You see, the aliens made Hector from grandfather's DNA.
See, Dr. Dick will never talk about this to anyone in the other campaign.
Remember your catatonic grandfather?
Oh, you remember how your grandfather was like suffered from mental illness for the entire time you knew him? Yeah, that was my fault.
I was a part of that.
What if you do not let Charlie know aliens are real? The lizard people is bad enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, at level 6, Charlie will fucking go back to the Flake class. All right. So you guys get back. So you walk in. What's the scene here?
I imagine Dr. Spectro is, sitting at the bar, sitting at a booth. I don't know if anyone is sitting with him, or if they've just if everyone at this point has just broken down into their hostile camps. But he is sitting in the main restaurant since there's no more reason for him to be downstairs. I don't know if Dr. Weiss left.
Yeah, Dr. Weiss left.
Yeah, we're probably all sitting together in a booth, and I think Betty's probably peppered Dr. Spectro questions like, "Hey, where did this Agent Stanley take him? What's going on with this Victor guy? Where did he just going to disappear again? What's with that?"
Mr. Stanley said he would send him back to his family.
Yeah. That's what Dr. Spectro is going to tell. He will be returned to his family. They're going to examine him first to make sure the aliens have not left any sort of device inside his body.
That's acceptable.
What those creatures did to him. Having studied the mummification practices of 37 of the dynasties, I can assure you it was no less horrific.
Than being mummified? Isn't one typically dead when they're mummified?
Except for that one time.
Let me tell you of
Emotep.
Emotep. Emotep the Immortal.
We'll have our fucking 1920s fucking monster of the week, and it's the mummy.
Please!
No, that's just we could serve that purpose by just skipping a session and just watching the Mummy and just not recreating the campaign.
It's true.
Like we're not going to be better at it
I
than
want to
they
play.
are.
I
Like,
want to play Benny. All right. So somebody might want to write this down somewhere. Take down these notes. The information that you're able to glean from the scrying, the specific information, you have an accurate plan of attack. Like, you know when they attack, what they plan on doing. You have an accurate idea of the numbers they're going to send at you at each location. You have an accurate idea of their capabilities, since most of the fighting is going to be done by the crawlers. And you have, you know that they are hesitant to invade because there's still, they're trying to figure out magic. So they keep, the reason that they are going to keep on trying to get subjects is because they're trying to get you to send them somebody with magic. They didn't know magic existed until Jonathan started speaking to them in their heads.
Hello.
So, like, they were pretty sure that they knew what they wanted to do until Jonathan started speaking to them in their heads, and then all of a sudden their game plan changed, and they've put off the invasion essentially until they understand this, because they're not sure that they don't want to come in here and get wiped out. They don't want to lose. So they're not going to attack until they know everything. And so right now, you guys are in the clear that they're not going to attack until they think they can. So, and if you tip your hand first, something might happen, but right now it's pretty even odds that they'll either split once they realize your capabilities, or they'll attack thinking that the jig is up, and you know, it's going to be a fight or flight response. It's pretty even odds. So yeah, you're able to like glean a lot of that information just from the things everybody saw, and that's definitely what's holding them up. They would have invaded by now.
Radio.
So as long as they don't get their hands on somebody magical, they won't be attacking. So,
So we know they're going to come and try to get another. They already asked for a neutral sender, which we don't recognize as human beings at this point in time. So.
Well, we don't physically have like.
I mean, we have intersex and stuff, but like we don't have a neutral gender.
I'm gonna try to take Jonathan because I know he's magical.
well, I think
Right.
they can tell that Jonathan's not human, but they don't know why he's not human. They don't know what undead is.
It's just like a cutscene.
Jonathan probably just fucking weirds them out because like they're not like he probably doesn't come up on a thermal scan.
Yeah,
he probably doesn't have any like he's almost a void. Like they catch him on visual spectrum, but nothing else. Like they're not sure Jonathan is corporeal.
Yeah, they definitely are weirded out by Jonathan, but like they might also just think that he's using some sort of cloaking device that they're just not aware of.
Or that he might be using this magic he obviously has to hide himself from them.
Yeah, so they don't know if it's magic or if it's a technology they don't understand, and that's why they're unwilling to invade, because it would be silly for them to attack people who could destroy them.
Jonathan is protecting the planet surely by existing. Go, Jonathan.
Please no.
I
The line in the sand.
I think once they get back to the, I think once they get back to the
You're
Rosie
breaking
will
up
go
a little bit,
for
Carly.
no. Hold on. Is that bad? Better?
Yeah, I can understand you a little better now. Oh,
Kylie, come back.
Is this better?
yes.
Yes.
All right, now say
Okay.
everything you said again.
I think once they get back to the bar, Rosie is going to make a beeline for the bar and politely ask Clive for a couple pieces of paper and a pen and start just like furiously writing down everything that she saw because she was told to give it to Dr. Weiss. But once she's finished writing, I think she's also going to write a couple little things down on a piece of paper, including an address and again writing down her personal telephone number. And she gives it to Jonathan. And she says, "This is the address to the morgue that's down the street from the bookstore. They tend to be out of there around 5 p.m. on Sundays. Just give this number a call. And I'll let you know if I've seen them leave. My apartment looks over where they normally park their cars. So I could get you in."
Jonathan looks down at the number, looks back up at Rosie, kind of awkwardly folds it and tucks it into his pocket.
What the fuck?
And puts his hat.
She just smiles. Of course. I keep my word.
I'm gonna go wander back over to Spec. Kara's back.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Rosie gave me her number so I could get into the morgue.
Sounds so pleased with yourself.
Oh, sorry,
So you know what just popped into my head?
what?
like Johnny, yes, Papa, eating bodies, no Papa, telling lies, no Papa.
What?
It's this fucking I don't even know what it is. It's like a kid's song.
Be nice.
And it's just called Johnny, and it's just like eating sugar, no Papa, telling lies, no Papa. I don't know, it's just this stupid kid thing. It's just like
That's pretty funny.
I don't know. Sorry.
No, I
So,
like it. It's funny.
Call me interjection.
I was not paying attention because Lola is a big spoiled brat, and if she's sleeping and you move her, she bites you. And she just bit Ella. So now Ella's freaking out. So I'm trying to comfort Ella.
Look at Ella's face!
She's very upset. Her tail's tucked. Like
Oh,
Ella
poor
was
Bug.
sleeping. I think she just rolled over and upset Lola. So like Ella was
Oh.
awakened from her sleep by getting bit.
Oh, poor Bean.
Okay, LB.
Annabella. Oh,
She's a good dog.
Yeah.
Her face
she's,
is so
Um,
white. Look how white her face is now.
she's getting old.
Cataracts.
She's an old lady.
That's just a reflection in her eyes.
her big bug eyes.
Her giant bug eyes. Here you go, baby.
Uh,
Lola, you be
Well,
nice.
More importantly, although I feel like if Dr. Watney says I got her number first, he'll just kill himself. But I saw her spell book up close.
So is this in telepathy?
I'm like mumbling to you quietly.
Okay.
Awkwardly.
Dr. Spectro is just going to like put his hand on Jonathan's arm and just give him a good squeeze on the arm, like, well done.
Jonathan lets out a gurgle of approval.
Hmm. I think Rosie looks around the bar and realizes that Dr. Weiss has left. And she sighs and turns to Stack. Well, looks like Weiss left for the evening.
Yeah, he does that. Let's go find
Yeah.
Watney.
Yeah.
I gotta get my smokes back from him.
Aw, did you give him the whole pack?
I thought I was gonna get it back from him within a couple minutes.
If you're looking for Watney and go to the back room first, you'll find him on the table. But not Watney. He's with us in the.
Because Weiss told her to give it to Watney. Yes, give the report to Watney. Or, I can't remember if he said to give it to Watney or directly to him.
He said to give it to him or Watney.
Okay. I think she will approach Watney holding a few pieces of paper. Well, how did it go with the gentleman?
Oh, good evening, Rosie. It went well. He was very cooperative and told us everything he knew, and then was receptive to the mental probe. No, that seems inappropriate given what happened to him. Using us, allowing us to check his memories through
Magical means.
unconventional means. Yes.
Oh, Dr. Watney, when are you going to just admit that magic is real?
I will admit that there are things that I cannot explain going on right now, and I would happily admit that they are what many cultures would consider magic. I'm just not quite sure I feel like that is what they truly are, but I don't know yet. We'll see.
Well, and she hands him the couple pieces of paper that she had written down that includes some like decent maybe doodles of some of the things that she saw, along with like lengthy descriptions and nice penmanship. I was instructed to give this to you by Dr. Weiss. I used my own abilities to gain this information. I'll use the word ability since you don't seem quite comfortable using the word magic.
Ah.
Well, these are pretty good drawings. No, there's ominous news here, but potentially useful. Thank you.
I should hope so. It took a lot of juice to get that info. But but it was slightly easier thanks to your very helpful little sample of alien whatever it was that you gave me.
Oh, yes, right, that. I'm glad I could help.
Well, hopefully this will help you and Dr. Weiss with whatever your next moves are.
I'm sure it will. Thank you.
Of course.
Hey, Watney,
Yes, Stack?
can I have my smokes back?
Oh, yes, here. I have no use for them.
I didn't think you did. Well, not anymore, anyways.
Yeah, I wish I can't smoke myself. A curse that's afflicted me most of my life.
Don't worry about it. I don't need to know. I didn't give it the smoking type, anyways.
It's the 50s. Everyone is a smoking type.
Except Watney.
Watney's just that much of a square.
I mean, he has a pretty good reason.
Yeah.
Well, he eventually does become the smoking type. The inappropriately smoking type.
All right. I think we're going to wrap it up for tonight.
Okie dokie.
And the next one, I'll let you guys. If you want to do the alien ambush, where you ambush them and start testing on them, we can do that. If you want to move straight to fighting aliens, we can do that as well.
I want to do the ambush, personally.
I want to do the ambush because
Okay.
yeah, I think that could be interesting, depending on how that goes.
All right. So I think we'll do the ambush next week, and then the following week will probably be the conclusion.
Awesome.
Sounds great.
And we have our end of the week stuff we got to do. I lost my pointer again. Now I found it. Okay. It was hidden under one of the many tabs I have open.
Oh, it must be nice to have more than one thing open at a time.
It's not
On your
though.
computer.
I hate it.
I miss it.
I wish I had books. Books would make this. I hate flipping through things like this.
I miss being able to have more than one thing on my computer.
So end of session. We'll go over everybody's goals. So Dr. Watney, are you comfortable? Any goals that you have that you would like to share, you can share them. Especially if you think
I think all of them are fine. I don't know if I complete. Well, I don't know. Well, so my first goal was to bring an ally into the alien invasion stuff that he isn't personally familiar with. I don't think he's completed that. Sorry. Second one is gain Rosie's respect by proving he's more than just a nerdy Poindexter. I have a feeling I did not accomplish that yet.
No, I would say not.
Yeah. Yeah, because like his big thing today was getting Victor to open up and trust him, but Rosie wasn't there for that.
No, Rosie wasn't involved in that at all.
No. And then the last one is keep the party from fighting before we deal with the aliens. I did nothing along those lines today. So
But we didn't fight.
we did not fight.
We actually got along civilly for a change.
Yeah, but that was more Rosie and Jonathan.
It had nothing to do with Doc.
Yeah.
All right. This isn't Burning Wheel, so if you want to change those before next time, you can.
Yeah.
Betty.
The goals were obtain usable information from the first subject and ensure agency involvement in repelling the impending invasion. So we definitely did one, but that wasn't steady. That was more Watney and Spectro.
I mean, you were definitely involved in that. It doesn't have to be you. You don't have to do it directly. Like,
got it. Well, then that's one. We did one.
You were involved in it, so it doesn't have to be just you that does it. Like, Dr. Watney wasn't involved with the other thing. But you were involved in getting useful information. So, yeah, you get an experience for that.
Okay.
Rosie?
Get into a position of more pull/control within the current mission.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe? I mean,
Yeah, I
she
would
kind of
say
spearheaded
so.
the scrying.
Well,
So is that an
main roads with Jonathan, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yes, I think you definitely completed that goal.
And then the second one, which I think will stick around because it's fun to me.
I don't think you spooked Spectro at all this round.
No. My second goal is spook Spectro even more.
Okay, so you finished that first one. You get experience for that. You can get rid of that one. You don't need it anymore.
Alrighty.
Um,
Oh my god, why did I just somehow, for some reason, my computer just like zoomed in and now everything is
big.
super huge.
So big. All right. And Stack?
I did not do mine. I didn't have a chance.
Okay. Do yourselves a favor, everybody, and come up with more goals for yourself.
Okay.
All right.
Dr. Spectro? I know you had one that you wanted to keep secret.
Yeah. I don't think he made progress on the secret one. As for making sure he gets credit for piecing together the aliens' plan,
yeah, I would say he accomplished that.
Yeah, he got that going up the chain of command with Mr. Stanley.
Okay, you get experience for that then.
All right.
And then Jonathan, share the one that you're comfortable sharing.
Here were Jonathan's goals of the day. Get Dr. Spectro and myself ahead of the game. Knock Charlie down a peg or two if possible. Discover possible...
Charlie's not here.
You know what I mean, Stack. Discover possible weaknesses of aliens, if any. And I feel like I have done these things.
Okay, so when did you knock Stack down a peg or two?
I can apologize for stabbing me.
That's how you. That's how you view asking somebody to apologize for something.
Yes.
I would not. I would 100% not call that knocking him down a peg.
Hey.
That's some toxic masculine shit.
It's Jonathan, Brandon.
I know it is, but that's like I don't think. I don't know. That doesn't. It just doesn't sound like knocking him down a peg. It sounds like you asked the guy to apologize for something he didn't know he did wrong. And then he did.
Well, I
So
did get ahead of our game.
So what are the other ones you wanted?
Get Dr. Spectro and myself ahead of the game and discover possible weaknesses of aliens, if any.
So I think you discovered some alien weaknesses, and I think you discovered. I think you and Spectre are now, if not in ahead of the game, you're at least no longer behind. So yeah, you get I'd say you get experience for both of those.
Hey.
And then you remove any of those that you feel like you did. So now I ask the following questions. Did we complete a mission or contract?
Yes.
We did debrief and scry as we were planning to do.
Mm-hmm. Did we learn something new and important about the universe?
Oh, definitely.
Did we make
Well,
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, you learned a couple of new things.
Okay. Yeah.
Did we make a new enemy or thwart an existing enemy?
No, not
I
yet.
haven't quite sorted them now.
Okay. Was there a big moment that hinged on a crucial role?
I don't think so.
I would say that there was at least two.
The scrying.
The scrying?
cycle.
The scrying and getting information out of Victor.
Yeah.
So that's everybody gets an additional 3 experience.
I finally leveled up! And now
Okay.
Oh, good. I can actually do something now.
I know I can finally take the move from the spooky playbook I've been wanting.
So, and if you pick like a goal, like I saw Phil's goal was to become closer with Dr. Watney. Like you can request a scene for that and just be like, hey, can I have this scene with Dr. Watney?
Wait. Phil, your goal was to get closer to Dr. Watney?
Yes, you're my boss now.
You did a terrible job of, or Stack did a terrible job of that.
He gave
And
you
it's
a
totally
pack of
within
cigarettes.
That's like a big deal.
Those things are expensive.
For a
No, they're
greaser?
not.
I know, they're
Yeah.
dirt cheap back in the 50s.
Like, I was gonna say that's a whole quarter.
To get a greaser to give up his smokes? Come on.
What you should be doing, what Stack should be doing, is teaching Dr. Watney
To be cool?
slang.
You also gotta remember, like, Stack has no idea what to do with, like, a nerd.
Yeah. I think trying to teach him to be cool
Go out and
would involve teaching him slang, and that's why he spouts it in the modern day campaign.
They're gonna go play catch. Let's have a catch.
Take a move from another playbook.
Okay.
Yeah, one more defensive move taken.
So I think we're gonna wrap it up there. I'm gonna end the stream. Thank Lily for watching.
Thanks, Lily.
Catch you
Thanks, Lily!